Hello, welcome to our web-based application presentation. My name is Sami Ullah Khan and I'm the project manager. And basically our whole project overall is to develop a web-based application that helps report problems. Initially, we began with our project by gathering together and meeting with the client, and we discussed the possible solutions and the requirements required for the project. My name is Sami Ullah Khan and I'm the project manager. I had to make sure that all the project tasks were assigned to each of the individual members, and here are the group members.
My name is Alexandros Lakovas and I was implementing the system.
Hi, my name is Francesca Cresper and I was involved in the client, talking to the client and discussing things and finding out what the client required from the system.
Hi, my name is Chris Ward and I was in charge of getting information about the current system and also developing the new system.
Hi, my name is Kelvin Wordsworth and I was helping out with the research methods in the questionnaire.
Hi, my name is Adil Sharif. I'm doing the web design and interface design.
The Moodle Flying Squad set us our brief. The brief was to create a web-based application for problem solving for the Moodle Flying Squad. The key features of this system, the Moodle Flying Squad wanted us to create an out-of-office system so that problems could be reported when there's no one in the office, as they only run during weekdays. So during out of those hours, it's hard for people to get their problems sorted or to report them. To do this system, we had to be able to have a form which would submit these problems to the Moodle Flying Squad, but it couldn't just be a list of all of the problems because that would be confusing for them to read. So there had to be some sorting of priority and also the types of problems, so that when the Moodle Flying Squad looked at the problems, they'll be able to tell which are the most important problems and what the kind of problem is that they have to deal with. So in order to do this, we had to attach some sort of priority-based system for the problems, depending on what type of problem it was and how the user assigned it. And we also had to filter out irrelevant problems that were actually to do with IT services and not Moodle.
Project client expectations. We met with the clients, a member from the Flying Squad team, and we talked to her and she let us know exactly what they wanted from the system, everything that the system did and everything that we needed to do. So we took her advice from her and then we generated a final list of requirements that what the client wants so that it would help us in our design and planning of the final system.
The project goal is to generate a report by email and phone and online form as well. And we need to see the priority for student and staff. And we need to put the staff first if they have any problem with the system. And this, the new system will generate a report, because the old system doesn't generate any report, so the new one is going to be much better than the old one.
For this project we had to choose a development method, and we chose Agile development method because it is very popular in real world projects to use. Agile development method focuses on iteration. It means it has to repeat, as you can see in the diagram. It repeats every step. It means implementation and testing and design stages are repeated in a project. Key principles are face-to-face meeting in a group. It means we can see how the project moves forward. Another thing is always communicating with the user. It means we can see what are the requirements and did they change any requirements. And with Agile development method, it's quite easy to change the requirements later on in the stage because you repeat your steps.
For our project, we gathered a documentation of the original system and we developed a new documentation that continued to be developed onwards. We generated reports so that the user can understand what they need to do for the web-based online system, and we created a feasibility report to go through the requirements and create the solutions, recommendations, and see the problems and improve the problems. And we basically generated reports for the entire project so that it is fully documented and so that all the queries and everything is on the report.
We interviewed a member of the Coventry University Lions squad. We talked to her and we found out about what exactly they require from the system. Having an interview with the client gave us a better perspective of how the system should work and how it's currently working and what we can do to make changes. We also created questionnaires and we asked staff about what they liked about the system, what they didn't like, what improvements they thought could be made to the current system, and we also gave students questionnaires and they gave us feedback which helped us make our final requirements. From the staff questionnaire we discovered that staff frequently report problems on Moodle, and for urgent issues they like using the telephone, they like calling in to report their problems or using face-to-face to talk about their problems. With the students we found out that the response time was too slow from the team and the forms took too long to fill in. Also, students also prefer to use telephone or email to contact the team. And this is just an example, this is just a staff questionnaire that we created.
As I said before, my main job was the implementation of the system. To implement the system, I used HTML, CSS, MySQL, PHP and JavaScript to make sure all the requirements were passed. I've done a questionnaire for staff as well, which, as Francesca said, helped us to find some key information what our clients wanted to have in our system. I've done use case diagram, which helped to find the actors or people who will use our system and how we're going to use our system which we created. And I've done research about the technology, which was databases, because we needed to find out which database would be best to be used in our project. And I found out that MySQL was the best for us to use, as it was the simplest to learn and it was perfect for small databases which we needed for our project.
For our requirements, we reached out to the Moodle Flying Squad to see what the problems they faced. We also made a questionnaire for the students to find a solution which bested both the staff and the students. Yeah, after that we reached out and we found the best solution for both parties.
As my role in the system, I worked a lot on the system analysis, which involved me going and meeting with the client and getting the details of the current system, finding out what the sort of questions they needed to ask when they were reporting a problem. And this helped a lot when I was working on the implementation of the system. But before then, and just after the use case diagram, I worked on the analysis class diagram. This helped me to recognize the different classes inside the system and their relationships between each other. So then that allowed us to see what needed to be put into the system and how they were connected together. My role in the implementation was mainly in the design, sort of the CSS of the system and also the basic HTML. I also did work on some of the PHP and SQL. And following that I did some testing of the system to see where some errors were and see different problems where the styling had changed due to errors being reported on the page.
Hi, my role is the interface design and help Alex and Francisca in the database as well. So I did use Inspiration and Photoshop and Dreamweaver, CIS. And I use Dreamweaver because it's easy to create the page, the whole page, and because I have some experience doing it before. And this is just small examples of the logo of the Solvay, our project. And for example, this is the old TU Online Help desk, and our page is going to be quite different than this one. And we try to make it a little bit interesting and colorful because I think it's a little bit interesting.
Mondays between 11 AM and 12 PM, and on Thursdays 1 PM to 2 PM to talk about our progress and see where everyone was.